I'm Farai Chideya, and this is News and Notes. There is going to be a whole lot of Hollywood in Denver next week. The stars are heading to the Democratic National Convention. Plus, actress LisaRaye releases photos in Essence magazine of what she says is abuse. Here to get us up to speed on celeb and entertainment news, we've got Newsweek magazine's national correspondent, Allison Samuels. So, hey, Allison, and
Hi.
we are both going to be in the same place at the same time. We live in L.A., but you're always so busy. And, I am looking forward to hearing your download on what is going to happen outside of the convention hall. So let's start with, who are some of the artists that are even showing up?
Kanye West, is one of the big artists because he's going to be performing at a lot of after parties and also supposedly on the convention floor. People like Hill Harper, he's giving big parties, and he's also going to be on TV One anchoring some of the convention coverage. So it's going to be a lot of I think Mary J. Blige, people like that. Everybody's coming through. Spike Lee's going to be there. People really want to see this convention. It's a big deal. It's historical. So many celebrities are just coming through just to be a part of it.
Clearly, a lot of people who appeal to a 20-something audience with the Obama campaign really trying to court that audience.
Right.
Artists are coming out,
Right.
I'm sure for their personal beliefs, but also it's a big venue.
Right.
Do you think there's an imbalance in celebrity power, which has been a big issue in campaign ads, between the DNC and the RNC conventions?
I think so. I think that's always been the case. I think the Democratic Party has always sort of geared itself towards a liberal point of view, and so Hollywood, has taken up that cause. And I think now with Obama, you have the very young part of Hollywood coming out, the Kerry Washingtons and and Kanye West and people like that, people that you sort of normally wouldn't have seen out in the forefront. You see them now. So I think it's definitely more of a Hollywood factor. I think George Clooney, he's giving a party next week. Those kind of people, powerhouses are coming out, and you won't see them as much at the Republican convention.
Let's go back to Kanye for a second. He really kind of not just put his toe in, but jumped into politics at a moment during a NBC telethon for victims of Hurricane Katrina.
Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
That caused some ripples because that was not on the teleprompter.
No, it was not. Mike Myers certainly didn't think so. The guy who was standing next to him, his face just dropped when Kanye said that.
How serious is hip-hop politics this time around, you think? P. Diddy did Vote or Die 4 years ago.
Right.
And is there anything comparable?
Well, I think that, now T.I. is in it. He's doing a lot of voter registration around the country. Part of it is a part of his legal battle. But he says he's very interested in politics and that he really wants to see Obama get in. I think as these guys like Jay-Z and Kanye and Puffy, they're businessmen now. They're making tons of money. So it is in their best interest to be aware of what's going on in the political world. So I think we're going to see more of that. As they gain more power, they're going to be more interested in who has the power, in the White House. So I think it's a great transition. I think it's a great trend that these guys are really becoming more interested in encouraging other young people to feel the same.
Let's move on to a piece of sports news, or rather the sports and personal connection. You spent the day with Shaquille O'Neal in Phoenix. Yeah. Did you get any info on the on-again, off-again marriage divorce?
Well, his wife released a statement earlier this week saying that they were going to get back together, and they were back together, and everything was great. On his part, he wasn't as comfortable talking about it. He talked more about his kids and what it was like to be with his kids and how beautiful they were and how happy he was that he was with them, and that was one of the reasons why he wanted to stay in the marriage, was because he wanted to spend time with his kids. It's been rocky. He's had a lot of things go on over the last year, and he's the one who filed for the divorce. But I think, it's very hard to go through that kind of thing in the middle of a career. If you look at Michael Jordan, he waited until after he ended his career to actually divorce his wife. So I think there are a lot of things going on that plays a factor into why it's not happening right now. Most importantly, like I said, the children.
He's done everything from movies to marketing as part of his celebrity. what else is going to go on from now forward, particularly with the children and entering
Right.
the empire?
Well, he has about another 2 years left on his contract, and then he plans to do more with real estate. As you know, he's buying up now a lot of the foreclosures in Florida, buying up foreclosures of African Americans, purchasing them, and then sort of selling them back to them at lower interest rates. So that's something that he's really sort of gung-ho about, and he wants to do more of that as time goes on. He's working on his PhD, which is, just something he's incredibly proud of, and he feels like he wants his kids to know that, education is important and that they have to go to school. So he has plans beyond plans, other sort of businesses he wants to open. So he seems, pretty clear on what he wants to do after the game is over.
Let's just talk a little bit about LisaRaye, actress, first lady of Turks and Caicos, which is a big tourist destination. And now she is in the TMZ zone with divorce news, photos on Essence showing bruises she alleges are from abuse.
Right.
What's really going on with that?
Well, they're going through a very ugly divorce, and I think what her sort of opinion is that she's been abused. There've been allegations of affairs on both ends actually, and I think her point is now is to sort of let people know what kind of abuse she went through, because that is what you do when you're going through the divorce. You have to have that stuff documented, and I think she putting it on Essence.com. She also released a press release a couple of weeks ago when her husband was supposedly with Roxy from 106 in Park. I think all of that is really an elaborate plan to sort of, before you go into divorce court, have all your ammunition out there before you get there. So it's actually pretty smart on her part, but she claims she is abused. The bites, they sort of had a biting sort of match, she and her husband, and both had to go to the hospital for medical sort of help. So I don't know. It seems like a very ugly situation for her.
Is it fair? I guess it's fair. All's fair in love and war, and this is both, to use the media as a tool in your divorce.
You're seeing that more and more. The woman in New York who went on YouTube to sort of, talk about her divorce and why she needed more money, she lost that case. But, I think the media now is being used for everything, and it can work and it can sort of work against you. But I think someone of LisaRaye's stature who, doesn't work that much, who, isn't necessarily a household name in mainstream America, I think this probably is the best case scenario for her to get her story out there is through the media.
When we think about issues like this, issues like abuse, they're so big.
Right.
Is this something that the media audience has an appetite for? You think about all the talk shows.
Right.
Is this something we're asking for?
Yeah, I think anything that's drama, and that's obviously a lot of drama. She's someone who is well known in the Black community, so I think it's something that I think other women can probably relate to in terms of the bruises and just sort of having to sort of fearing for your life, which is what she said she was doing, and then trying to sort of come out of a divorce, on the better end of than you went in. I think all women can sort of relate to that. So, yeah, I think, it's something in the Black community in particular that I think women are really interested in. Like, how do you do that?
Well, Allison, great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Allison Samuels is an award-winning national correspondent for Newsweek magazine, and she joined us from our NPR West studios in Culver City, California.